I am personally insulted by this world. It's very personal, it's very insulting. Because there's a suggestion, it's suggesting that the happiness that God wills for me is not available. It's either saying I'm not worthy of it or God's a liar. But how, in the midst of its suggestions, am I supposed to be happy when it's suggesting there's pain and suffering and there's loss and lack and there's coronavirus and there's death, and I'm supposed to be happy in the middle of all that? So something's wrong there, you know, and here, what am I supposed to do about that? I can't, I'm not going to sit here and be insulted. I've got to do something. I have to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by forgiving, end them. So, the light has come, I have forgiven the world. The light has come, I have forgiven the world. How? By letting go of my grievances. Now that puts the boot on the other foot, because instead of being insulted now, that which is making the suggestions is what is really, really insulted. It screams in horror at the idea that I can let go of the grievance, because that grievance is its lifeblood. The juice it gets from that grievance sustains it. In fact, its motto is, I am sustained by the love of grievances. Okay, so why do I have grievances? In my deluded belief that somehow grievances are beneficial to me, I actually think that they protect me. Because when I'm hurt, and I'm hurt from some direction, there is some person, place, or thing that is attacking me. I want to avoid that happening over and over, so I push it away. That direction, whatever it is pushed away. And it's resented, and it's not allowed any intimate communication with me because it's threatening. And that's my grievance. And I believe in my delusion that actually protects me. But does it? Not really. Not really. In fact, it does exactly the opposite. It does the opposite because I'm praying to the grievance. I'm actually praying to what it is that I'm grieving against, to the attack or the assault or the insult or whatever it is. And what's that going to do except when that prayer is answered, give me more and more of what it is that I'm trying to protect myself against? So clearly it doesn't work. Now, just to understand that it doesn't work is a step still, just a tiny step into forgiveness. But it's quite superficial, really. Because the real problem is that, why am I feeling attacked in the first place? What is it about me that feels that I'm being attacked? Why am I so weak and vulnerable and so assailable and easily hurtable? What is it about me that is so weak that I can be attacked? Well, I ask this really because this is what I'm praying for. This is my prayer to God. And what does God do? What does he say in response through his Course in Miracles? He says, the problem is that you can't forgive your brother for attacking you until first you forgive yourself for the idea that you can be attacked. So what that means is that you've got to forgive yourself for mistakenly believing that you are so weak and vulnerable and so easily attackable, easily assailable, easily hurtable, because that's not what you are. You're my holy son, and you are perfect and complete and whole and invulnerable. You're the Son of God. You're the Christ self. And so you can't be hurt. So that allows me to see that I can't be attacked. And all I have to do is realize that, to actually realize that I am not a body. You see, we're born into these bodies. We walk around and we talk and we meet people and we do things and we eat and sleep and drink and we become accustomed to this relationship to the point where we actually begin to believe it's what we are. But it isn't what we are. And it's a confusion that applies to every single human being that walks upon this earth. It doesn't matter how enlightened they are, they still have this deep-rooted belief somehow that there's an identity with this form. But that's not what we are. And so we have to discover for ourselves exactly what it is that we are. And we listen to these beautiful words and ideas in A Course in Miracles, and we're told, yes, you are complete and whole. You are the spirit that can't be assailed. But you've got to prove it. You've got to understand that at a much deeper level than the surface mind. You've got to come into a realization of that. And how are you going to do that? How are you going to realize truly and be completely convinced that you are spirit, that you are the Son of God, that you're not a body? Well, the answer is this. You prove it in your defenselessness. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. It's not just my safety, it's my identity. I discover who I actually am, what I actually am in God. When I allow myself to be still in the midst of the pressure of attack and anything at all that seems to be not godly. Anything at all that I experience in this world, which I've spoken of, that the suggestion is suggesting, and allowing myself to recognize it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm unassailable. It doesn't matter because I'm unhurtable. It doesn't matter because I am spirit. And then, you see, what happens is I realize I can't be attacked. And that's a much, much deeper step into the realization that there is forgiveness, that I can forgive the world. But I can go deeper. Because now I've got to give that. I've got to share that with my brothers. I've got to allow myself to see that if I'm not a body, neither are they. And if my brother isn't a body, and I'm not a body, well, there is no body. Okay, and if there's no body, then there's only God. And that's the truth. There is only God. Everything else is an illusion. Think about it. There's this suggestion which has no actual reality at all, making this suggestion that there's pain and suffering and death, and it hasn't got any substance. It's just a suggestion. And then we take it on board and actually listen to that voice. And that's our mind, our miscreating mind, thinking thoughts, attack thoughts. And when I think these attack thoughts, these thoughts manifest in form. And they manifest as appearances. And those appearances have no substance or reality themselves. So we've got three levels we're working at. We've got a suggestion that isn't true. We've got a mind, a carnal mind that doesn't understand. And then we've got an appearance that has no substance. And the whole thing is an hallucination. It's an hallucination. Okay, that's all that there is. And God, there is an hallucination. There isn't an hallucination and God. That's not true. There's only God. The hallucination isn't real. You can't include it in the statement. It's not there. You see, it's not there. That's there, but it's not real. So okay. So do you remember the film? I love that film, Good Will Hunting. And there's a scene in that film which I always remember. And it was Robin Williams talking to Matt Damon. And Matt Damon had been abused as a child. So he was a bit, you know, it's a bit of a difficult lad, bit of a troublemaker. But it all came down to his child. And so Robin Williams, the psychiatrist, the psychologist, says to him, it's not your fault. And Matt Damon says, yeah, I know. No, he said, no, it's not your fault. Yeah, I know. No, it's not your fault. Bang. The healing takes place. It gets through. It gets through the denial. And this is the most wonderful, wonderful healing scene I've ever seen on film. It's beautiful. And that's what we have to do to fulfill our role as healers. We have to actually communicate to our brothers that it's not their fault. That they're not bodies, and they've done nothing wrong, and there's nothing to be ashamed of, and they're not guilty, and there's nothing to fear. And then we're doing as God asks us to do, as teachers of God. And we are saying to our brothers, you are divine. You don't look divine, but your essence is divine. Your essence is what it is that you really are. The form is just temporary. Don't worry about it. It'll come and it will go, and it doesn't really matter. The fact is that your essence is eternal, and that's what you are. Does it not say in your scriptures you're all gods? So, be blessed, be happy. The will of God prevails, and the rest is just an hallucination. God bless you.